Hello students, I hope you all are fine and you are also preparing for your examination. Last time we have already covered too much about the Asia, which is the largest continent. Today this is the last part of this chapter. Today I am going to explain you about the physical features of Asia. What are the physical features of Asia? Basically these physical features of Asia is divided into five parts. First is the northern lowlands, second one the central highlands or the mountains, we can say that. The third one it is the southern plateaus. The fourth one it is the great river valleys, and fifth one it is the island groups. So we are talking about these five different physical features of Asia. So first of all, I am going to start with this northern lowlands. These northern lowlands, you can see that here it is also called the Siberian plain, okay, and it is drained by these rivers. What are these rivers? Ob, Yanzi, Lena, okay. This is the plain, and this plain is also divided into three parts. Now let's see. Here you can see that these are the rivers Ob, Yanzi and Lena, and this is the Ob Yanzi lowland, and this land is also called the northern lowland. Complete lowland is also called the northern lowland, okay. After that there is a Turan lowland. This is here it is the Turan lowland, and third one which is called the Siberian lowland. Now what are these features? First of all, I'm talking about these lowlands. So this lowland, because here this is in the Arctic circle, so what happened, it is completely frozen, and because of this frozen, this river stop flowing from here, and because of this the water is stop here, and because of that the water spread over the flooded, the rivers are flooded and spread over there. Because of that this region is very swampy, okay. This region is very swampy, so this is the specialty of it. And this Turan, this Turan, here there are two Darya, Sir Darya and Amu Darya. Okay, these are very important for here. Okay, because of that the water is available there. In the third one it is Siberian, which is Siberian plain, which is here. Okay, so these three plains which is almost cover that the northern lowland of Asia. I am requesting you, before watching this video you have to read the book. If you read the book, then it is very easy to understand, okay. Because again I am explaining you that in this chapter it is completely map work, and most of the names are there. So look the map and read the book. So please, it's my kind request, first of all read book, then come and watch this lecture, and after again you just read the book, then you can understand each and everything. If you are not going to read the book, and then if you watch directly the video, then it is very difficult to understand. So it's my humble request, it's my kind request, please read the book first and then watch this video. Now I'm continue this video. So I hope you clear what is this. This is the first, the Ob-Yenzi Lena, which is called Ob-Yenzi lowland. Second one it is the Turan plain, which I told you, which is having the Amu Darya and Sir Darya. Darya, it means just like a we can say that a very large water body, but saline water body, okay. So these are there. And third one it is the Siberian lowland, which I told, but the Siberian lowlands it is completely frozen area also. So this is completely about the northern lowlands. Now I am talking about the second one, it is the central mountains, or we can say that the central highlands. This central highlands is completely based on what? It is completely based on mountains. Now you can see the mountain region, basically it is also divided into west and east. Hindu Kush, Suleiman, okay, and in the east Himalaya, Kunlun, Karakoram, Kunlun, Altian and Tien Shan, okay. So these all are the mountains, and one more, there are some plateaus which are plateau of Tibet and plateau of Mongolia. Now let's see. Now you can see that here there is a knot. What is a knot? Knot, it means it is junction point where the all mountains are connected. These all mountains. Here there is also one Armenian knot. So there are two knots which are interlinked. Okay. In from this Pamir knot, these all mountain ranges are arising, which I explained you. First of all, I am talking about this Suleiman. This is the Suleiman which is in Pakistan. In this Suleiman is extends. It is Zagros mountain ranges and extend towards the this Turkey area. Okay, it is called Tarus mountain. What is it called? Tarus mountain. And then second one, it is the Hindu Kush. The Hindu Kush is also extend from Pakistan, some part of Pakistan, Afghanistan, Iran, Turkmenistan also. Okay, so it also extended here and it again joins to the Armenian knot. Okay, and here in the Turkey you can see it's divided into two branches. Okay, what are these two branches? This is called Pontic and Tarus. What is it called? Pontic and Tarus. In this Pontic and Tarus, in center there is a region, it is called Asia Minor. What is it called? Asia Minor. So these are the mountain ranges in the west. Now see, here there is a mountain range but it is not marked, which is called Karakoram range, which is in India. Another one is also Himalaya range, and this Himalaya range is extended. Already we have covered this part which is in the India part. Okay, so we have already discussed. So this Himalayan, just let me clear you. This Himalayan is little bit tilted and Patkai boom is here. Okay, Patkai boom, Garo Khasi Jaintiya Patkai boom. Okay, so this is, and then next one it is the Karakoram. In this here it is the Kunlun range. What is it called? Kunlun range. And here it is Altai Tang, and it is also same name. It is called Nanshan. Both the names are same. Okay, and then Tinshan. So these all are, it is in China. Okay, this is all in China. So there is a Mongolia plateau which is in Mongolia, and another one more plateau which is in the Kunlun, and this Himalayan, here it is the Tibetan plateau. Already we have discussed in India, Tibetan plateau. So this is the knot which is called the Pamir knot, which is also the highest, near about 6,000 meter, which is also called the highest plateau in the world. Okay, then you know about this, about the this Karakoram, and this is the Karakoram range, and this is the Kunlun. There is a one also plateau. It is called the highest plateau, Tibetan Tibetan plateau. So this is the roof of the world. I hope you have cleared these lectures. You clear this point. Now, as I told, these are the Himalayan. In Himalayan there is a highest mountain peak which is called the Mount Everest. Last video I already cleared 8850, not 8848. Okay, last time I have already cleared, it is the highest mountain peak. Another one is the highest mountain peak of India. It is in Karakoram range, which is called K2. Okay, Godwin Austen. So this is about the central mountain. Third one, it is the southern plateau. In the plateaus, basically it is divided into the plateau of Arabia, plateau of peninsular India, plateau of Shan, and plateau of Yunnan. Now let's see. In this diagram you can see that this is the plateau of Central Asia. Here is the plateau of Arabia. Here it is the Shan plateau. Okay, so this is all Mongolia plateau. So this is all about the plateaus. Okay, basically it is divided into these different forms. Okay, this first of all the Arabian plateau, which is in this region. The second one, it is the Deccan plateau, which is in the central region, and the third one, which is the plateau of Shan and Yunnan, which is in the China. Okay, I hope it is clear. So you have to learn these names. Okay, the plateau of Arabian, the plateau of Peninsular India, it means the Tibetan plateau, the plateau of Shan, Yunnan. Okay, next one, the next feature, it is the Great River Valleys. You know, there are three that civilizations. What are these? the Indus Valley civilization, the Mesopotamian civilization, and the Chinese civilization. Generally, there are four civilization you have already studied, but one which is in the Africa, okay, which is called Egyptian, but it is in Africa. We are talking about in Asia. So in Asia, there are three civilizations. What are these? Indus Valley. Now see. So Tigris Euphrates, Ganga Brahmaputra, Great Plateau of China, and Irrawaddy. So in Tigris Euphrates, there is a Mesopotamian civilization. It is also called the Valley of Mesopotamian. Why it is called? Because in Greek language it means the between the rivers, which is located in Iraq. Second one is the Valley of Indus, or we can say that the Indus Valley civilization, which is in the Ganga Brahmaputra, not Ganga Brahmaputra, in Indus Valley. Okay, then great in China, in the China there is a valley of Great Plain of China, where we can see that the Chinese civilization. Now see, here in this map you can understand. Here first of all the Valley of Mesopotamian. So Valley of Mesopotamian, you can see there are two rivers, Tigris and Euphrates. Here the Tigris and here in this part the Tigris and Euphrates. These two rivers is called the Valley of Mesopotamian. This is the Valley of Mesopotamian. Second one is the Valley of Indus, which is located in between the India and Pakistan, on the Indus Valley. And this Indus Valley arises in a different branches. It is called Ravi, Jhelum, Beas, Satluj, and Chenab. Okay, generally we learn by this name in JC Ravi Satluj. How can you learn? In JC Ravi Satluj. In matlab Indus. J it means Jhelum, C means Chenab, Ravi and Satluj. So these five rivers are also arises from the Indus. Then next one, also here Ganga and Brahmaputra. So Ganga and Brahmaputra, these two rivers, which is also make a form or a plain which is called the Valley of Ganga and Brahmaputra plain. And third one, which is called the Great Plain of China. You can see here Yangtze, Wanghu, these rivers called the Great Plain of China. In this, the Wanghu, Shanjiang, which is also called Yangtze, and Sikiang. These are the rivers which are drained into this Pacific Ocean, the Yellow Sea. Okay, so this is also the one other plain. The last one, which is called the island groups. The island groups, it means what? Where the islands are located. Now here it is the archipelago. Archipelago, it means the group of islands. Just like there is only one island, so it is called island. But here there are so many islands, so it is called archipelago. So archipelago is not nothing. It is a terminology for a group of island. Next one is the mud volcanoes. Mud volcano island. Why? Because this is located in the Pakistan. Okay, this is located in the Pakistan. What is happening? Because of the earthquake which is under the sea, the land which is under the sea, it is arises, and here the mud is collected and the methane is always releasing from here. That's why it is called the mud volcano. It was observed in September 2013 in Pakistan from the NASA. Okay, and the third one, it is the Kuril, which is in the Japan. Okay, which is in the Japan. And there are also so many islands which you can see in the, which is called the Malay archipelago. Malay archipelago. Now let me show you. Most of the islands are located in this region, in between this Indian Ocean and the Pacific Ocean. So this region here, there are so many islands, just like the Burma, Borneo, Sumatra, Java, Bali, Timor. So these all are the different names of this island. Okay. I think you also heard about the name of Taiwan, Philippines, Indonesia. So these all are the islands which in the part of Asia. So I hope you have cleared these all the parts. Basically already have discussed 5 different physical parts. You just learn this name and just go through the map, as well as just once or twice read the book. Then all the things will be very clear, because nothing to explain too much. Only you have to understand the map and you have to learn the name. So I hope you have understand this lecture. Thank you so much. If still you are having any problem, you can write. I will try to answer it. Thank you so much.